What's the good word, everyone? Kenny Varner, the owner of SportsBooks.com. We come to you with a college football preview of the Ole Miss Rebels. Take a second and subscribe and like if you like the content, but at least subscribe so you can see all the videos coming out. SportsBooks.com is the name of my site. So let's get to the Ole Miss Rebels. This is one of my favorite teams to review because it's put up or shut up. Will this team is over 9.5 favored, -135. They're looking for a maximum of 2 losses from this team. Their schedule sets up, although there are some times that's not in the best favor. There's no Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, even Missouri is off the schedule. But what does that mean? They do have Georgia. They do have LSU. Um, this schedule is set up for Ole Miss to make a run. Now, we know they lost to Alabama and they lost to the Dogs. And they got buried by the Dogs. So when they stepped up into the elite class, um, they were not able to get the job done. Now, when they went into that LSU Tennessee, then they were fine. And are they still better than those teams? You know, when you're a team like Mississippi, Ole Miss, number 6 in the country, are expected to take care of lower teams, even when they're like 13th, 14th in the country. So what do we got? We do have a great offensive coach. I don't care what anyone says about Kiffin. I don't care about off the field or if you think he's a jerk, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's a great offensive coach, and he learned the portal and had a great job with the portal. Now having Jackson Dart come back at quarterback, Katie bar the door, the sky is the limit. Making a playoff run, not just making it, but making a little bit of a run, can be in the cards for this team. 3 offensive linemen, starters, back with your quarterback. This was a good defense last year. Better than people think, because people are always just looking at the people just look at the 52-17 loss to Georgia, dismiss them. They knew they had to get bigger, and through the portal, they filled some holes by getting bigger. So everything is set up for Mississippi. They think they have the talent. So let's look at the schedule. The schedule is a perfect setup. Furman, Middle Tennessee State. Now Furman, I have to say, they took the Grizz down to the Montana Grizz down to the wire in the playoffs. The Montana, who ended up playing for the national title. But this team is a shell of themselves. They're in the in-between. Quarterback and everyone transferred out. So this is not a good FCS/FBS team. Middle Tennessee State they take care of. They go to Wake Forest. If they have, the discipline, they'll be fine going to Wake Forest. Georgia Southern and Kentucky should be fine if they're Ole Miss, where they'll just show up and they'll get the win. And they love their offense, and I think those teams can't keep up with the points. At South Carolina, you want to say tricky? I say no. Ole Miss. No, okay. So they're good to go. This is a team that should be 6-0 going into the LSU game. The problem I have with Ole Miss at LSU, any other time I would love it, but it's going to be, 7 games in 7 weeks for Ole Miss, and LSU has 2 weeks to prepare. This is a total schedule perfect setup for LSU over Ole Miss. And there's a fly in the ointment of the team. But you don't have to go undefeated anymore. 1 loss is fine. 2 losses might be fine. So we'll see. Why does that keep coming up? Well, we'll find out. But then they have the week off, and then they got Oklahoma coming into their spot in the Mississippi, and Oklahoma does not have a week off, and so they got 2 weeks to prepare for Oklahoma, who I think they're going to be better than. Then you got a tricky little Super Bowl type spot, as it's a big time sandwich game between Oklahoma and Georgia. They got to go take a trip to Arkansas and Fayetteville. As much as I think Arkansas is down, if you overlook them, you could be in trouble for the playoffs. Then Georgia, you're going to be ready for Georgia, and you get to prove, are you great? Are you great, or are you just really good? We'll see how it goes. Then they have a week off. They go to Florida, which I give them a big advantage of because it's the fourth game in 5 days for Florida, who is playing all ranked teams. Georgia, Texas, I believe Tennessee's in that mix, and also Ole Miss. You kidding me? Should be a big advantage for Ole Miss. And then they have the rivalry game, Mississippi State. Yes, you never know what's going to happen, but still, you are superior. So I can't say. I would say it would be super disappointing if they didn't win at least 10 games. I don't care about Oklahoma at LSU in a really bad spot. LSU and Georgia, anyone else they lose to, disappointing season. If they don't go to the playoff this year with 12 teams, very disappointing. This is a team I think will step up, will make the playoffs. Georgia comes into their place, Oklahoma comes into their place, and they go to LSU. Take care of business like they have been doing in the last year or two, where they don't get upset and they're taking care of teams like LSU. No Texas, no Alabama, no Tennessee, no Missouri. Mississippi, you're on the clock to make a run in the playoffs. Got to make it there first. So, all right, that's our thoughts on Mississippi. Come see us at our channel. We love sports betting all over the place. We'll see you in the next video. Let's make money.